Welcome back to another video. Today we are back for another episode of predicting whatever team's upcoming NFL season, and today we are halfway done with the AFC East, and we're on to the Miami Dolphins, and Bills will be released tomorrow. And then I think we're going to move on to the AFC West, and then I'm going to do South, and then move on to the NFC. Before we get into the video, though, I do ask if you are finding my channel recently through all this real-life football stuff, because I do a lot of Madden as well. If you're finding me through this, be sure to leave a like and hit the subscribe button because I'm going to be doing a lot more of this throughout the year. Last year was, well, first off, my overall first year on YouTube, kind of really focusing on that. So I did mostly Madden, but now I feel confident enough to kind of, expand to football in general. So I'm going to be doing both Madden and this. So if you're a fan of football in general, just hit the subscribe button to never miss any of my videos because it's all going to be football. Unless you guys want to see something else related, although I only really feel comfortable doing basketball. If you guys even want that, if not, then just don't even worry about it. It's not going to be uploaded. So for today, we're doing the Dolphins, and I would like to say thank you for all the support on the other one of these videos. I wasn't really planning on doing these how I am right now with these daily uploads. I was kind of thinking, we'll do some teams, kill time until Madden 22, and then I'm going to move on to that again. But you guys have seemed to really, really like this, and so I like doing it, and I'm just going to keep it coming. So today we're doing the Dolphins, and now we'll get into it. So if you haven't seen one of these videos before, basically I do a quick recap over what last season was like, kind of player stats, who's left, who's come, and then I go back to the top, and then I predict everything I think is going to happen this upcoming year, and then an overall record of how I see the season going. So for the Dolphins, right now, we're starting out with passing, and obviously, it was Tua and Ryan Fitzpatrick, which is really interesting because it's our first time doing a video where two quarterbacks played pretty equal, honestly. Tua threw 290 passes, and Fitzpatrick threw 267, so pretty even. Tua had 11 touchdowns and 5 interceptions, and Fitzpatrick had 13 touchdowns and 8 interceptions, and the play where he had his head completely turned to the side and threw the ball like 40 yards downfield for the game winner. That play was crazy, but Fitzpatrick is gone, and it is just Tua time, so hopefully he can lead the team. I think he was honestly pretty impressive in his first year of the Dolphins. I think the Dolphins honestly surprised a lot of people with how competitive they would be. I thought they were going to be tough, but not as tough as they were last year, so hopefully they can keep improving, and I don't see why they wouldn't, honestly. I think Tua has a really bright future, and we're going to talk about that in a little bit, but Tua, like I already said, had 11 touchdowns, only 5 interceptions, so not terrible at all out of the 10 games he played. 10 games he played. I saw 9, I got confused. But no, 10 games he played, 9 he started. So, yeah, not a bad year at all for passing. Rushing and receiving is a little interesting. I'm not sure why that guy's highlighted. It won't unhighlight him. Okay. Never mind. Anyway, Myles Gaskin was their leading rusher with 972 yards from scrimmage and 584 rushing yards. He did have 388 receiving yards. So it was honestly not completely balanced, but it was pretty similar. Kind of between rushing and receiving, which is good to show you have a running back that can kind of do both and be a threat at both, because he had 3 rushing touchdowns and then 2 receiving touchdowns. So again, pretty even. Great year for Myles Gaskin. Overall, I think the Dolphins, honestly, they don't have anyone, like insane, top 3 receiver in the league, top 3 running back, but they have a lot of guys that are just super, super solid and reliable, and sometimes that's better than having a superstar player when you have everybody that can get the ball and can make plays with it. Like, for an example, they had Mike Gesicki, who honestly had a really, really good year. 703 yards from scrimmage, and that was all receiving. Devante Parker had 793 yards from scrimmage, all receiving as well. And he did have, how many touchdowns did he have? He had 6 touchdowns to go along with, or Gesicki had 6 touchdowns. Parker had 4, which is, that's pretty good between your receiver and tight end. They also had Jakeem Grant, who had 393 yards from scrimmage, and 373 of that was receiving. And honestly, it's nothing worse on defense. If not, it's actually probably better than how the offense did. And we're going to take a look at that right now. Something that stood out to me when I first saw this was look at the QB hit section. You have Shaq Lawson, 18, Emmanuel Ogbah, 21, Zach Sealer. I said Sealer, maybe it's Seiler, I'm not sure how to say that. Either way, he had 11 QB hits. There's Andrew Van Ginkel, 10 QB hits. There's Kyle Van Noy, 10 QB hits. There's Jerome Baker, 11 QB hits. That is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 players in double digits at getting to the quarterback. One of them is over 20, and the other one nearly got 20 as well. So that is very, very good. And then you think, their D-line obviously is very good getting to the quarterback and pressuring the quarterback. And then they had the interception leader, Xavier Howard, with 10 interceptions. So really, they were good all around. I mean, yes, he had 10 interceptions, but they had other guys that could play really well too and pick the ball up. They had Eric Rowe, he had 2 interceptions. They had Byron Jones, who also had 2 interceptions. I couldn't find him for a second, but so yeah, honestly, a very solid secondary, a very good defensive line. I think this defense was just, I mean, really one of the most, I wouldn't say underrated, but it was better than a lot of people gave him credit for. Sadly, though, as of literally, like, I think yesterday, Xavier Howard did request a trade from the Dolphins, so that's tough because, you know, he had 10 interceptions, but hopefully you guys can work something out. Maybe you guys can sign somebody, move some people around, you never know. So that is a huge hit to the secondary. Good for them, though. They don't have to worry about the D-line, because I believe everyone that I was talking about, the QB hits and everything, re-signed, I'm pretty sure. I know Kyle Van Noy, I think, left to the Patriots again, I think. So other than him, I think they have everybody returning. So really, I mean, there's not too much to worry about. Xavier Howard is a very valid worry, but other than him, I think the defense is super, super solid. But yes, I think last year was a huge W for the Miami Dolphins, just really all around. Back down to passing, though, so Fitzpatrick is gone, obviously, and even if he wasn't, I would still predict Tua. Tua, assuming he plays all 16 games, and if you guys haven't seen one of my videos before, I always predict as if the player is playing all 16 games, so if they get injured, don't come back to me, months from now, like, wow, that prediction was terrible, because, I'm not going to predict injuries because they suck, and you don't want anybody to get injured. So as for Tua, if he's playing all 16 games, out of the 10 games he played, he had 11 touchdowns and 5 interceptions with 1,814 passing yards. I think Tua will get around 2,300 passing yards next season with 20 touchdowns and 9 interceptions. I think it's going to be around there. I think he's going to have a very, very good year, and I think the Dolphins are definitely a playoff team. I think last year was just really kind of end of the season stuff just didn't really fall the way they wanted it to. Once again, for rushing, I expect a big year from Myles Gaskin. I'm going to say 1,000 yards from scrimmage. I don't think 1,000 yards rushing because he's so not... Yeah, I'll say balance. I'll give him balance. Because he's so balanced between rushing and receiving. So I'm just going to say 1,000 yards from scrimmage, and then, who knows, probably a little bit more on the rushing end than receiving end as far as getting to 1,000. I do think he will have 5 rushing touchdowns and 3 receiving touchdowns, so a 2-touchdown difference between the two. I will predict Devante Parker, who also, I think, was their leading receiver, 793. I also see him breaking 1,000 because I think Tua is going to look to him a lot. Same with Mike Gesicki, but I don't think Gesicki will hit 1,000. I think he'll get probably around 800, 850, somewhere around there. I think Devante Parker will get over 1,000, probably not 100 more, but around there. And I think he will probably have around 8 of, I think I said Tua can get 20 touchdowns. I think Devante Parker will probably have 8 of those. And I think Gesicki will probably have, I don't know, maybe even more than that. I'm not sure. I'm not really sure when it comes to that. But I do see Devante Parker being a big target. Let me know down below who you think will have a better year, though. Devante Parker or Mike Gesicki. Alright, and as for this defense, I'm going to be predicting Jerome Baker's stats, and as far as secondary goes, I'm not really sure who they're going to bring in, so I'm not going to predict anybody there because I'm a little worried to do that. So we'll do Jerome Baker and Emmanuel Ogbah. As far as Jerome Baker goes, last year he played 16 games, and he started 11 of them. He did have 112 combined tackles with 7 tackles for loss and 11 QB hits. I'm not going to predict tackles because that's just so, I mean, I can just guess a general number, and of course it will probably be around there. So I'm going to guess tackles for loss and QB hits. I think he's going to have around 15 to 16 QB hits next year, and I'm going to say 10 tackles for loss. I think he's going to have a big year in the backfield. And for Emmanuel Ogbah, I mean, I am surprised with his numbers. I'm not going to lie. I didn't think he had that good of a season, but 21 QB hits is very, very impressive. And you know what? Well, I'm just going to say 20. Let's just see if he can break 20 again, honestly. I would, if he breaks 20 again, I think that would be absolutely huge for the Dolphins. And he only has 6 tackles for loss, so I guess we'll just say probably, I mean, if I'm saying 20 times hitting the QB again, then if I'm expecting him to get to the backfield that much, we'll give him maybe 4 more, round up to 10 tackles for loss. Another big year from Ogbah would be really key for the Dolphins. So guys, the Dolphins as a whole, a little while ago in the video I said I would be shocked if they didn't make the playoffs, and I'm going to stand by that. I can see them having an 11-6 record, pretty much what they had this past year, except with 17 games. I see them having a very similar season. I see Tua being a very good quarterback for this team, and I think he'll be a future star in the NFL. I really do. So I see Dolphins being 11-6, making the playoffs. Where they go from there, not totally sure. I'm not sure how far they'll go. but I do think they'll get a playoff berth. I think this is going to be huge. But guys, that's going to do it for the video. We are slowly wrapping up, well, honestly not slowly, pretty quickly wrapping up the AFC East. If you haven't seen my other videos, which was the AFC North and the AFC, and this one, go check that out. I have a playlist for it. Just start from the beginning. We did Bengals, Browns, Ravens, Steelers, and then we did the Jets, and we did the Patriots. So thank you guys for all the support on these videos. I do really appreciate it. I will keep them coming. Daily uploads of predicting teams for this upcoming year because I'm excited for football season. If you are too, be sure to leave a like and hit the subscribe button so you never miss any of my videos. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.